to the Birdy Boyz Podcast, episode 8. Here we've got Alan, Caleb,
What's up?
Miles,
Hello.
and Raleigh.
What's up?
Alright, so please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with any sort of, critiques. Helps out the channel. So today, our topics are coming from some of our viewers. We asked people to submit some topics that we could discuss through Instagram. Follow our Instagram at birdy.boys. So we're going to be talking about those, but first, an intro question. If you could choose any brand to sponsor our channel, what brand would you pick? Caleb, you want to start?
Yeah, I would definitely go with Old Spice. Like their advertisements and shit are so funny. I don't know if they do sponsorships, but if they did, it would be good. That's definitely what I go for.
That's a good answer, Miles.
Personally, I would choose Smart Wool, or more specifically, Smart Wool socks. They have very warm socks, and they're very comfortable. And that's who I would choose.
Raleigh?
I would personally pick Adidas. I'm a big Adidas fan. So, I would gladly rep their shit for our podcast.
Actually, I was also going to say Adidas. If we could, get some, a brand deal to get some merch from Adidas, that'd be sick.
Adidas, if you're out there.
Yo, please
We're
hit
begging.
us up. Please. Not begging, but, come on.
Come on, Adidas. You know you want to
Adidas.
sponsor.
You know you want to sponsor us.
want to sponsor
You know the merch would look sick. All right. So I guess let's just get started. Let's jump right into the topics that we got from Instagram. First topic is pretty interesting, is whether simping is okay. Now, if you guys don't mind, I'd kind of like to start out on this one, just to get us rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
So simping, I think as a word, has definitely changed a lot from when it was first, introduced. I remember, it used to really just mean, if you were trying to, be, super over-respectful towards one woman in particular in order to try and win them over. But I feel like the definition's kind of changed. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like now I'll be, scrolling through Instagram or whatever, and I'll see someone, compliment, any woman at all, and they'll just get a bunch of people calling them a simp. And I don't know, that's not really what it's about. It's really more about trying to romance them. And in my opinion, whether simping is okay, if you're trying to romance a woman by just being subservient or whatever, if that's really the approach you want to take, I guess you go ahead, but I don't know.
Can I follow up on that?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I think the simp jokes are really funny as long as they're not taken too far, or at least they kind of died, but they used to be really funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
In terms of the definition changing because of those jokes, I don't think it really matters, because at the end of the day it is just a joke, and that's kind of the joke definition. But in terms of actually simping, actually, serving a girl's every need for the hopes of getting pussy, it's I have no respect for you if you do that.
Yeah.
You got to be your own person,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel
especially people who change their personalities for girls. I don't know. I can't really respect that.
What you were saying about the jokes not really being funny anymore, I think that kind of came along with the fact that the definition changed. When the definition used to be being a simp, that was when it was funny. And then when everyone started doing it because people were just saying nice things, I guess. I don't know. It just kind of, the joke just got more unfunny.
I think it was just just another meme, just another like catchy thing people say, and just like all the rest of them, it kind of died, and that's just what
Yeah.
happens, and it's not that funny anymore.
Yeah, at first it was basically like, honestly, I think it was like when it first started, it was just the idea of like total white knighting for a girl
Yeah.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
and then like all of like the OnlyFans and that sort of shit rolled around where it's just like paying for nudes and stuff like that. And it's definitely that was like okay for the term simp, but then it was just kind of like being nice to a girl at all,
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
even
it's
if you're
like-
not like romantically interested in them. Just
So-
if you're nice to a girl who is your friend,
Yeah.
you are a simp.
And it's just been too overused now. Like it's not even like worth the memes anymore.
Yeah.
Miles, you got anything to say on that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't quite get it. And I think when I first started hearing the word, I tried to like look it up, and I still can't quite comprehend what exactly it's supposed to convey. I just don't quite understand, and that's really about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. Like we're saying, the definition fucking changed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So next we have actually a pretty controversial topic, religion. And I think, personally, we could do a whole video about our opinions on that, like we did with astrology. But just for the sake of this, I think if we do want to share our opinions, keep it a little brief, but we can do it. Anyone want to start in particular?
Also, avoid offending people.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like none of our comments are meant to offend anyone.
Okay, I'll start. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Well, personally, I'm atheist, so like I don't know. I'm not like too deep into religion. My grandparents always were going to church every Sunday, and they would drag me along whenever we were with them. So I grew up around Christian family stuff like that. And it's like I personally, I'm not into it. I don't really believe in much other than like what I can see in front of me. But I understand how it can help somebody to lean on something that will make you more comfortable with things.
Well, my mom's a Christian, my dad's a Jew, my sister's Buddhist. I had my bar mitzvah, so technically I'm Jewish too, but really
I
I'm
never knew that.
not religious.
seriously-
I
never
didn't
knew
know
that.
that either.
Oh, really?
Speaking of celebrations, today's Caleb's birthday. Happy birthday,
Oh,
Caleb.
yeah.
Oh yeah, happy birthday! You're 17.
Yeah, I'm a boomer now. But basically, I think like since I was young, I was kind of like, wait, so where's this God dude? Like, where's he at? So I never really like bought into it, and as I got older, I just, you read in history, religion really hasn't done like a lot of good shit. Like there was the Crusades.
Yeah, it's
that was fucked up.
It's created a lot of conflict. Like
Yeah, there's the Spanish
so
Inquisition.
many times.
There was the Reconquista. There's a lot of fucked up shit that happened because of it. I guess there's some benefits. Like when you think about it, imagine how many people would have like been murderers if they hadn't thought they would go to hell because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I can see some benefits in that sense. Also, like Raleigh was talking about community building, but I think
Yeah.
just in general, the cons outweigh the pros. Because I think it's like deeply rooted in ignorance because you're literally thinking that something fictitious is real, and you're basing a lot of your life around that,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is kind of ancient. Also, like explaining things that you don't understand as like being religious, as like God's work or whatever, is just ignorant and kind of disregarding science and what humans have worked towards.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just my opinion. Well, you know, I'm not going to be one of those atheists who goes out there and tries to like go to Christians and be all like, "Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. What proof do you have?" Because that's just, you know, that's not you're not helping anyone, you know? That's just as bad as the Christians who go around and try to convert people. Like, you're not doing anything good.
Exactly. My dad is an atheist now, but he grew up in a very Christian household, and in with my grandparents, who are very religious to this day. So I think I've talked to my dad about this. I wouldn't call myself an atheist. I'm very skeptical, and I think religion was a good tool to use like a very long time ago when people were very
through like
curious.
super dark ages, I think.
Yeah.
That, like where it seemed like there was no prevail at all. I could see how there would be appeal in that.
Yeah, if people wanted questions answered, like where did humans come from, or whatever. I feel like religion's a good tool to use in that. As science started progressing more and more, and we discovered where humans came from, that's where we don't need religion anymore. And that's how I think it's kind of an unnecessary tool at this point. But that's just my opinion. And like Caleb said, I'm also not going to be one of those annoying ass atheists who goes around trying to convert people. That's not my place.
Yeah, facts. Like, you know, believe what you want.
Miles, do you have anything else you want to say?
Does your grandparents on your dad's side being super religious, does that make them kind of a drag to visit?
No, we just try and avoid the topic, honestly.
Okay.
Now, when they do bring up religion, because it often does happen, because I have great uncles who are like pastors, and
oh, jeez.
Actually, quick story time. There's something called the Peanut Festival, and at the Peanut Festival,
the most redneck sounded.
My great uncle was handing out these pamphlets that were like comics about the deadly sins to like a bunch of kids, and he gave me one, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It was so like ridiculous that like
you probably can't find it, but if you could find it, put it up on screen.
I can't. It was like this stupid like old comic, but one of them I remember distinctly was like Lust, where I had never heard. This was like at the time where I hadn't heard of what the sins were, because I was a kid. I was raised in like a non-religious household, so I looked at the Lust page, and this dude literally like looked at a woman and was like, "Oh, she's cute," and it was like, "You're going to fucking hell, stupid fucking sinner, you heathen." So I was like, "What? Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense." So I don't know. I was. It was funny. It was funny now thinking about it. So our next discussion topic is how much has your guys' music taste evolved? Raleigh, you're a big music guy. Would you want to start out?
So, for as much as I can remember when I was little, the only music that I was really exposed to, besides like vague radio stuff, was I had like an iPod, and it was just all the stuff that was on there from my parents. So it was mostly like a bunch of older rock and all sorts of other genres. So I was exposed to a lot of genres when I was little. When I finally got into like having my own music like on Spotify or whatever, in like I would guess like 6th grade, I started getting into, it was a mix of dubstep and like punk, not punk, but like emo. That's what I was saying. It was a mix of like dubstep and emo, and it was a weird time. Like,
so you can't evolve past that. So basically, we were going to say Beyond Here is devolving.
Emo is the peak of music.
Right, the apex.
Yeah, I just remember a bunch of like dubstep, EDM, female rock bands that were like extremely like, I hate my life. What else was there? Okay, so then I was mostly exposed to rap in like 7th grade, 6th grade. And that's I've been mostly into rap since 7th grade and whatnot. Obviously, I listen to other genres. I don't only listen to rap. I got into Lord really heavily for a while. I listened to a lot of synthwave, punk rock, all that sort of stuff. Now, so I've had like a weird evolution of music taste.
Miles, you want to go next?
Sure.
Should I bleep all this out?
You could.
I'm kidding. I'm not.
I haven't listened to music in several years. I think that it's a waste of time and space. I hate it. It's awful. I wish everybody would just shut the fuck up. I wish there was no more music left ever. So it's evolved into silence, and it's gonna stay that way.
Oh my god! All right.
I hate music. Awful. Caleb?
So when I was little, I just listened to what my mom listened to, and she listened to like everything. Mostly like popular stuff, but in terms of genres, she would listen to like every genre. So I got exposed to a lot of different music, but then once I hit like 5th grade, I started like listening to what I thought was like cool, which was actually very cringy now that I look back at it. It was like video game soundtracks and like dubstep and shit.
Yeah.
And like Fallout Boy.
Yeah, Fall Out Boy. Jesus Christ.
Fall Out Boy like does like low-key slap, but now when you listen to it on repeat in your room for like hours.
I forgot. I had a really long 5 seconds of summer period for like 2 years. That's all I wanted to add.
But yeah, now I kind of have my own music taste. I listen to a lot of different stuff, but not the stuff I listened to before.
All right, so I guess I'm next. I think so. As a kid, from like, I don't know, I guess like 4th through 6th grade, the only real artists that I would consistently listen to were like Imagine Dragons, Fall Out Boy, and like 21 Pilots. And then really, I was telling Caleb this the other day. On my way to and from school, my mom would let us pick music on her phone.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Oh, no.
And I literally repeated like "Crazy Train" by Ozzy Osbourne, "Ion Cat," and the original Teen Titans theme song. I would just play that shit on loop, and my mom can vouch. But then like I think it was like 5th grade, and my dad was listening to this station Lithium, which was like 90s.
Oh, Lithium. Yeah.
It's like 90s grunge and like alternative. So that was, and I still listen to that stuff. That's kind of more minor. My dad also listened to Eminem, which kind of brought me into rap. But I think it was really my friend Kai who showed me like actual good like modern day rap music, and that's mostly what I listen to today.
Yeah. Honestly, if I were to really describe my music taste or like my music evolution, it would go on for fucking ever. I listened to so much shit. It was so bad.
Let's do a lot of different shit.
Not me, at all.
This is really, by the way, for all the viewers at home, this is really just us covering up for his Nightcorp session.
We've got someone who commented, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. What else? More Star Wars. What do you guys think of Star Wars?
Yeah, I think they want us to talk about Star Wars.
I'm kind of picking up those hints too, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can start, I guess. I don't know. I haven't started a topic in a while.
Yeah, go.
Are we actually fucking discussing Star Wars?
Why not? Just give our opinions.
No.
You know? Why? I fucking love Star Wars.
All right, what do you want to discuss?
The new movies are bad.
Okay.
Are we actually discussing
Are
this?
you one of those elitists about like the fucking original trilogy?
No, now here's the thing. My parents loved the original trilogy, and those were the movies that I watched as a kid. So those obviously have a very special place in my heart. But I also like the prequels. Except for the first one. The first one's garbage. But the second two, I honestly enjoy. Especially the third one. I thought the third one was great. But the new movies, I don't know. It's pretty obvious that it's a cash grab. And to be honest, the writing isn't great. The first of the new movies I thought was entertaining. I didn't like the second one at all. And then the last one was like entertaining, but the story was not good. Like it's just pretty bad writing all around, to be honest. But they're engaging action movies, but I don't know. They'll never like stand up to the old ones.
Yeah.
I'd like to propose that the best Star Wars movie was actually a Phantom Menace.
Raleigh, you can go
solely-
shove that opinion up your ass because that's not true.
Solely because of Jar Jar Binks.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not gonna lie, the Phantom Menace was not that bad. A lot of people shit on it.
The end was good, but like all the politics stuff, it was just a lot of talking, and I don't know. When I watched it as a kid, it just made me confused. And
it
Jar
had
Jar Binks was always
which made it
fucking
really good.
annoying. No, shut the
Jar Jar
fuck up.
Binks was
Maybe it
really
was 'cause you were a
entertaining.
dumbass kid.
The pod racing was good though. I like the pod racing.
Yeah.
Well, I watched it as a child. I was not confused.
Shut up.
And I liked it.
How
That
old were
was
you?
like
How
one
old
of the
was you?
first Star Wars movies I saw. And then I was also a big like Clone Wars fan. I haven't seen the new Clone Wars, but I've heard good things.
I liked Clone Wars as a kid, and I've tried to get into it more recently because I know it's on Disney Plus, but I can't really get back into it, to be honest.
Yeah.
When I was
Yeah, I tried to at one point, like to rewatch the old series, but
it's so long. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a lot of seasons to catch up on.
yeah, I feel like there are bits and pieces of the show that are good and have good like rewatch value.
I remember we had like a DVD set of one of the Clone Wars like movies, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When we were little. That's like the only thing I've seen for I'm not like the biggest Star Wars like nut, you know?
Yeah.
I love Star Wars. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like a crazy massive fan. Miles, do you have anything to weigh?
I can't watch them because of the soundtrack. It's too loud. So I can't get past the first 3 or so minutes. Can't get past-
Miles, can you be serious about music for like
submit it,
one
then you
more
brought it up.
topic? Can you be serious about music for literally one topic? That's
Yes, Christ. Fine.
it. All right, so we got 2 responses that I think go together. What is your opinion on like? Are there any artists that or songs or genres that you find overrated? The
Musicals.
Beatles.
Fuck music.
Except
Yeah.
for the only
Nah.
musicals I can stand are Grease and like Hairspray.
Where you can't like write off all musicals like that.
I can
unless
and I
you've
will.
seen
I'm joking.
every single
I was
musical.
joking.
I can and I will. I'll do what I want.
Hamilton's
I'm not-
overrated. I'm gonna say
I'm
that.
not
though.
a big like musical guy, but there's some that have some pretty fire songs.
That's true, but Hamilton,
I like it.
What?
Oh man, goddamn. I
I've
think
never.
that-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Miles.
I just think that like all musicals could follow a very similar format and get away with it very easily. And I don't know.
I feel like most forms of media do that.
Can we nail
So I
some
didn't- I
musicals
didn't know
in
about
particular that you guys think are overrated? I say Hamilton. I've never
Agreed.
understood the appeal. I've listened to the whole soundtrack. I don't think it's that good.
musical genres.
I thought it was pretty neat. I think after you play it like 50 fucking thousand times, you've got to like take a chill pill. But I thought like my first time listening to the full thing, I was like, damn, all right, this shit's pretty good.
I don't go to my way to listen to musicals. So the only musicals that I've listened to at all are ones that I've seen live. My sister has played 50,000 fucking times and like blasted it through the walls. I know multiple songs from Hamilton word by word, and I hate it. I've never gone out of my way to listen to Hamilton.
Okay.
So I guess the only musicals that I would say are overrated are Hamilton and Dear Evan Hansen, just because I've seen a very fucking large fan base for them, and I don't really find any appeal to them. I can see why people would find appeal.
Bro,
What about, like, other
I
music?
saw Dear Evan Hansen.
Okay.
That shit's like pretty funny. Like it's well written.
But we're talking about the music in particular. Is there any, like,
Oh.
aside from musicals, just in general, is there any other artists, songs, or genres that you just
Oh
find
yeah,
overrated?
Polo G's new album was an L, bro. I
Nah,
don't see why
liked
people
a
like
lot.
it.
It was good.
I never listened to it.
He's good in features. I don't know. His albums are like kind of weak.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, to be honest. But I can
Drake's
see where you're coming
overrated.
from. Drake is overrated. I agree with that. Although he has some bangers.
He has a lot of good songs.
no.
He like
I'm not-
deserves to have the level of clout that he has.
I didn't like he's overrated, but I didn't say I dislike him.
Yeah.
Like I love if you're reading this, it's too late. Like that's a fantastic album. I'm just disappointed with his newer shit.
I mean, he's definitely better than Kanye. We can all agree on that.
New
I
Kanye
disagree.
maybe, not old Kanye.
We're
disagree.
talking about
Kanye
current day
my-
things.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Can I be real with you? I'm about to say something like a lot of people out there are probably going to be very upset at me. But similar to Drake, they have quite a few bangers, but the Beatles, and they're super influential, but I don't know. I've just never really gotten the
I think
whole
that
hype.
they copied a lot of
I think
musical. You had to be a girl from the age of like 14 to 20, and then you had to lose your shit and wait, that's about it. And you have to cry when they leave the country you're in, and then you have to be photographed and put on Instagram, and it has to have a caption like "Beatles fan balls when they leave," and it's like in black and white, 1968 or something.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know. Beatles, they've got good
I don't-
songs. They just don't appeal to me.
I don't think I can say they're overrated for me, but also I grew up. My dad is like obsessed with Beatles. Like literally, we have 3 Beatles mugs, 4 Beatles glass cups. We have Beatles Rock Band on the Xbox.
I was about to ask, I swear to God, I was about to ask if you had Beatles Rock Band. I'm not fucking kidding.
I love that game. And he has like almost all of them on vinyl, if not all of them. I'm not entirely sure.
Wow.
So for me, like I've grown up listening to a lot of Beatles, and I enjoy their music. So like, I guess I can see where you might be coming from if you just don't really care for their music. But I've grown up with them so strongly. That,
It's
like,
not that, though. Here's the thing. I do like them. I grew up listening to them as well. My mom is a huge Beatles fan. And their songs are good. But the hype that they get from, like what Miles was saying, like 14-year-old fucking girls, it's kind of fucking obsessive. And it's kind of, I don't know. I just don't get it. Like, yeah.
I feel like
they're talented musicians. They make...
I feel like the
I don't-
Beatles are kind of used to like make you seem like you have a broader music taste than you actually do.
I
that's
see
kinda
that
facts.
especially.
That's kind of
yeah,
facts.
I could
definitely.
agree with that.
And I know you don't know shit about the Beatles. I'm not saying you specifically, but the people that kind of use that to fluffen up their music taste, which is very projected and like unreal. I think it's just bullshit.
Or they just learn that shit just for the sole purpose of like explaining it. Like,
Right.
just, like
Yeah.
if someone
Yeah.
asks them like, "Oh, are you a true Beatles fan?" They're like, "Yeah, I know that in 1960 whatever the fuck, George Harrison fucking got shot."
That's a Beatles history.
I think old
Yeah, he
people
did.
who
He,
like
he,
the
he
Beatles
stole a lot of R&B
are
and
like
rock and roll.
understandable because like you were there when the Beatles were big. You were like there to like understand the hype and
Yeah.
like follow along
Yeah.
with their rise to
Beatles,
success.
for the
Boomers just
most
be like,
part,
"You don't get the
These
hype."
days- yeah, the people these days like, come on.
The Beatles really, for a few exceptions, when they were doing psychedelic stuff, was just old pop music.
I was also saying Elvis. I think Elvis just stole a lot of African
He for sure
American
did.
music.
Yeah, a lot of the R&B and rock and roll stuff was very Afro influential, and he very much did take that and ran with it, and was very much more successful than a lot of other artists who did the same thing.
For the sole reason that he was white, pretty much.
White, yes, yeah, pretty much. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like educated enough on the subject to like say anything. 'Cause,
I do like
don't
his
know
hair
anything
though.
about
I
Elvis.
like his hair.
Also,
But he died on the toilet. So.
So, what do you guys think of people who ask to be on the podcast?
We didn't really
your
fill
time will
in all of
come.
the question box.
Also,
Sorry, Raleigh. What did you say?
I said it really filled in all of the question boxes himself.
No. I just wanted to put this out there. It's annoying, alright? Don't ask to be on the podcast. I want to say that officially.
I think it's funny.
It is funny.
I
but-
say keep doing
we're
it.
gonna laugh at you. We're gonna laugh at your stupid.
We're gonna laugh at
fucking
you.
face.
Yeah.
But actually, unironically, if we do want you on the podcast, we will come to you. You don't
Yeah,
have to ask.
you gotta bring something to the table.
Yeah,
alright?
you can't
Yeah.
you can't just want to
Like,
talk.
what are we gonna do? You're gonna go on there and you're just gonna all sit there. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, please don't just
Yeah.
please, and also don't suggest a topic hoping that we could cover it, even though it has nothing to do with us and we have no experience.
Well, when
with
we
it.
ask
Dating
for
advice.
topics, then you can give recommendations.
Exactly.
Don't
Actually,
give
I
us
do.
topics.
No, I'm saying don't give us topics for the sole purpose of trying to get an interview.
Oh yeah, there have been
Yeah,
a few
yeah.
examples of that.
Now, I'm not going to say any names.
Yeah, that too. No, don't work like that.
I mean, like, here's the thing. I have considered, or I've thought about topics where I've sort of thought of people who we could invite on, but I think
Yeah.
in general, when we have a more, how should I put this? Like a more rigid sort of topic to go off of, like these. Like, I really like when we have people submit stuff that they want to hear us talk about, because it gives us sort of like a jumping off point. But if we just have like something like music, and we just invite someone who makes music on, it kind of leads to us being unfocused, and the recordings are generally not as good.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
So don't
Those tend to
fucking
be-
ask us to do a show about relationships and dating when you know it's going
Right.
to devolve into a bunch of bullshit where Miles is just screaming into his mic.
Also, don't ask tips on relationship and dating from 4, 16, and 17-year-old teenagers. That's
3 of which are single. Literally, we
Right.
like, but like, yeah, still, you know, like it's
Yeah.
just not.
it's
worth it.
it's annoying. It's annoying. We will laugh at you. We will publicly ridicule you.
Yeah. We're gonna hook you up to Alan's Jeep.
Oh
We're
no,
gonna drag you
we're gonna have
down the
Walmart on.
street. His winch. He knows how to work that winch on his Jeep.
Oh god.
We're
For
gonna
all
get your family members outside. We're gonna get them to watch as you drive by our house.
For legal reasons, this is all a joke.
yeah.
For actual reasons, this is all a joke.
It's not a joke.
Me
at all.
and Alan for sure are not are joking.
Yes. Yeah. On that note, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Miles is very tired, as he's expressed.
I'm very tired. 100%.
Um,
Keeping it 100.
Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Again, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, helps out a lot. This has been the Birdy Boyz Podcast, episode 8. Thank you guys for listening again. Bye.